Hey guys, it's Ryan Patrick and Chris Freeman here to talk to you about the 5 ways to unfuck your kettlebell swing. So we're going to talk about some of the biggest problems that we see with the kettlebell swing in our own practice and the best ways that you guys can use corrective exercises to clean them up as quick as possible.
So first let's talk about who benefits from a more efficient swing. And of course the answer would be everybody. Okay? So whether you're a power athlete or you're a weekend warrior at the gym, everybody can benefit from having a more efficient kettlebell swing. Let's talk about some of the uses of the kettlebell swing. So they can be used if you're a power athlete for accessory movement, say on a deadlift day or squat day, to work your spinal erectors, glutes and hamstrings. They're also a strength and conditioning tool for the average gym goer. You do heavier sets of 10, 5 heavier sets of 10, that can get you a lot stronger, okay, in addition to developing endurance. And then, pretty much for all populations, it's a no-impact way that you can develop some energy system strength, okay, or conditioning. So the last reason that you want to do a more efficient kettlebell swing is just to reinforce a strong, efficient hinge pattern, okay? Just one more tool in your toolbox as a coach or an athlete to develop a strong hip hinge, and again, to develop the muscles that are going to be used in the swing, abs, glutes, hamstrings, low back.
If you guys are using this progression correctly, the kettlebell swing is the next obvious progression because it's just a ballistic version of the hip hinge pattern. So we're going to talk to you to make sure that you guys have practical ways to actually implement this stuff and make sure that you're building great patterns, great functional patterns for your athletes and adults to either build that cardio, endurance, energy systems, whatever you want to call it, or if you want to just build strength or use it as an accessory movement.
All right, let's get to it.
The squat swing champion.
What's up, guys? Chris Freeman here.
Ryan Patrick.
And we're here to take you guys through the 5 correctives for the kettlebell swing. So this will help you guys unfuck your swing out there if you're having problems with that kettlebell swing. The first one is the squat swing champion. So Ryan, just show me a few reps, what we don't want to do. So Ryan's getting real low down the ground, kettlebell's almost dragging the ground. And he's in more of a deep knee bend squat position. Good. Okay, so a couple ways that we correct this is one, we have to identify correct hinge position. So one of the easiest ways you can go back to that correct movement pattern is the belly hinge. It's particularly effective if you lock the shins against the bench. Set up with a hinge stance or a swing stance, feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Ryan's going to pull the kettlebell back into his stomach, so he's got a good brace, and then he's going to work on hinging through the hips without his knees tracking forward and hitting the bench. So I usually do these for sets of 5. 3 to 5 reps work really well for your correctives. Good. And then we'll go immediately into a set of swings. I would stick with like a set of 10, and then that should clean up that pattern. Reps. Good. Good. Second corrective for the squat swing is put an object between your feet. Now it doesn't have to be a super big object, but we place a small kettlebell, a cone, anything that's going to cue them not to get so low in that swing. Okay, you always want to keep the handle above your knees when you're performing the kettlebell swing. Go ahead, Ryan. So now he's clearing that object, and he's more aware of how high or how low he's driving into that hinge position. And the last one, we're going to keep the handle above the knees. That's just a very simple cue that you could use so that we're not going too low into that squat position, and we're staying in more of a hip-dominant hinge. Handle above the knees. Good. That's for the squat swing champion.
Trap City. Trap City swing.
Alright, hey guys, we're going to work on the next thing to unfuck your kettlebell swing, and this is called the Trap City swing. So when you're swinging, if you're getting your traps a little bit too high, we're going to give you some cues to fix it and make sure that you're doing the swing a little bit more appropriately. So, our first corrective for this is called kettlebell drags. Chris is going to approach the kettlebell here, get into a nice hip hinge position, and what we want to do is make sure that he's cueing his lats to turn on. So he's going to pull the bell across the floor and teach his shoulders to get down and back. Now this is just for the bottom portion of the swing, but if you start in the correct position, chances are you're going to have a much more successful swing. Good job, Chris. Okay, next one is as Chris is actually swinging the kettlebell, we want to cue for him to pack his shoulders. So go ahead and swing, Chris. show them a couple bad reps first. So bad reps are this high trap swing. What we want to do is cue Chris to keep the shoulders packed or get tight in the armpits. And you'll see that the swing comes down a lot lower, okay? As he's doing this swing, I want to talk about the third one, and that's teaching people to swing a little bit lower. So if the swing's coming real high, chances are those shoulders are going to kind of ride high and dirty. So we want to make sure that we cue people, hey, keep your shoulders low, and chances are they won't be going to Trap City. So show me a few lower swings. Alright, after they perfect this and they keep their traps from riding high, we're going to have them go to a one-arm kettlebell swing because they're going to learn here how to keep that shoulder down as they're going through their swing. So, Chris, show them a one-arm swing. Great. Good. All four of these can now fuck your Trap City swing.
No discipline?
Happens sometimes on the setup, usually happens when you're putting the bell down. Alright, that's a fail, guys. F for the day. So, sloppy setup and set down. How can we correct that? Alright, we can do what's called a power swing. This is kind of a punishment drill. It's a really good drill to do. It's one rep at a time. Every rep is set up like the first one. So he's packing his lats, bell's angled back. Alright, he's going to hike it back, drop off his hips, and then start from square one again. Do these with a moderately heavy weight for a set of 10. They really teach you how to drive the bell off your hips. They teach you how to activate the lats in the setup position, and they also give you the discipline when you're picking up and setting down the weight. Okay? And that is called the kettlebell power swing.
Someone's been taking their no-acetol pills.
Alright, Jugger Nuggets. What do you think? Keep it? Alright, Jugger Nuggets. Next drill is called the no-acetol swing. I repeat, it's called the no-acetol swing. That means no acetol. Got me? Brian's going to do a few reps. I see this a lot. Here we go. So he's not engaging his glutes. He's really hyperextended from the lower back. And he's got a nice soft knee there. Good. So we're not really finishing powerfully with a hip extension. We're kind of relying on the lower back. And we're never completely fully standing up. So we're lacking a lot of power in the hips. That's the no acetol swing. The corrective, we're going to use a slightly heavier weight. This is probably my favorite corrective drill for many problems in the kettlebell swing. It's called a static stomp deadlift. What you're going to do is you're going to have your client do just a regular kettlebell deadlift, and they're going to hold the top position for 3 to 5 seconds, and what they're going to focus on, stomping their heels on the floor, squeezing the glutes, and staying tight for the anterior cord, for the front part of the belly. Set it down, take another breath, stomp the heels, flex the glutes and belly hard. You can even give it some body hardening. It's not gay if you call it body hardening. Last one. Stomp the heels, squeeze the glutes and abs. Okay? Those are good for 3 to 5 reps. Again, we're holding that top position for 2 to 3 seconds at the top. After they do that, go ahead and have them do a set of slings. Again, keep the reps around 10. And just try to have them feel that and identify that same position at the top. There you go. So they're not leaning back, abs and glutes are on, and they're driving the heels into the floor. Okay? That'll really help that swing.
Alright, Jugger Nuggets, we're here with correction number 5, and we're looking at the what are lats swing. So, Chris, if you would. This is the swing where everybody forgets about a key player to the swing, and that's your upper body, specifically your lats. So if you notice, Chris's swing, the bell's droopy at the top, his shoulders are rounded forward. So we're going to talk quickly about a few strategies to go ahead and correct this. The first one is the resting lat drill. So we just want to kind of work with Chris to get his lats on. So we're going to have him hold his arms out like he's at that top of the swing, and I'm just going to give him a nice little cue to push my arm down. Okay? You're going to see instantly this gets his lats on. You guys can go ahead and grab him right in the armpits because they're going to go ahead and pull. Okay, resting lat drills first. Next, after they kind of master that, we can use what's called the hover deadlift. So you want to get them right over top of the bell, and they're going to pick it up and just hold it a couple inches off the ground, and just work on driving those lats nice and tight so that he can get some contraction here in the midsection. Okay? This is going to carry over when he gets to the top of the swing. All right? Third, pendulum swing. You need a little heavier bell for this. Okay, remember, our goal here is to engage the lats, kick them on. So we want to keep those armpits tight. So what Chris is doing is as this bell's going out, he's using his lats to break and pull that back in. Okay, he's got a nice neutral spine throughout the whole time. He's working his breathing, keeping that core on, lats engaged. Great job. All right, and the last one. We're going to start the swing on the last one here by using his lats to engage the bell. So if you saw throughout the series, we start with the bell slightly in front of us and just a little bit of pre-stretch on the lats. So go ahead and grab the bell for me, Chris. A little pre-stretch on the lats, and his first motion is to hike the bell through the legs, kick the lats on, get the shoulders down. Very good. All right, and that's the what are lat swing corrections.